Is this going to give me a shortcut out of this level? The LEGO brand has done a really good job of creating some lighthearted looks at some of our favorite licenses, including Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Batman, and of course, Star Wars. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens continues this trend, retelling the story of The Force Awakens with that lighthearted LEGO feel that's so familiar and has really succeeded in a lot of other games. This game follows the movie almost exactly, with the exception of a couple filler levels. They recreate a lot of famous scenes from the movie and trailer really well, even adding in some direct lines from The Force Awakens into this game, which is a really nice touch and just adds that extra level of polish to each of the cutscenes.
See anything? Get off!
Oh no.
What do we do? There must be someone.
Chewie, we're home.
Outside of the cutscenes, the characters also speak, and the voice actors they've hired to play each of the famous Star Wars characters sound almost exactly like them. Han Solo, Leia, Rey, Finn, Chewbacca, all of them sound exactly like their movie counterparts, which is really impressive. And of course, in classic LEGO style, they've thrown in tons of extra comedy and little funny bits and some slapstick and all sorts of crazy stuff going on in the backgrounds, and even right in the middle of scenes, just add that extra bit of comedy and keep people laughing as they're playing through this game. The comedy and lighthearted nature of this game, in my opinion, is one of its strongest features. Even for people who have seen the movie a number of times, will still enjoy playing through this game, seeing all the extra little tidbits and funny interactions that they've added throughout the story. Oh! We forgot about Luke! Shit! Oh, there he is! All the familiar gameplay elements from previous LEGO games make a return in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. You've got a large roster of famous Star Wars characters making an appearance, being playable as you work your way through these levels, including tons of puzzles, different combat situations, and a wide range of vehicles to climb in and operate in this game. Making a return as well is the ability to collect LEGO pieces and build different items that will help you progress through the levels. In LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, the new feature is that you can create multiple things, so 2 or 3 things sometimes from the same group of LEGO blocks. This creates puzzles where you have to kind of create different sequences of items, building them, then tearing them down, and building them up somewhere else again to progress through the level. But this can cause confusion, sometimes players being confused about where to go because you forget sometimes that you've got to destroy this thing, take it back down, and do things in a different sequence to progress. Wow. Wow, like it was back there the whole time? Really? A big gun? Perfect. Let me get in and shoot this thing. You're such an idiot! Making its first appearance in a LEGO game is this cover-based shooter mechanic, where once you enter these areas, your character will automatically crouch down and you've got to take cover, and you can pop up and down, shooting enemies around the field. These shootout sequences are kind of fun, but also kind of lame. It's kind of cool to work your way through with these characters. It makes sense. It really applies to the lore of this license, because in Star Wars there's a ton of shootouts. So being able to play as your favorite characters, popping up, shooting stormtroopers with Han Solo or something like that, makes a lot of sense and can be quite fun. But at the same time, the auto aim is really easy. So as soon as you pop up, it's an immediate headshot. So you'll just find yourself shooting everybody. There's not a lot of risk involved in these sections. Each of the different characters in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens have 2 or 3 different puzzle elements that are unique to them that only they can solve, which makes the player have to switch between different characters in their party to solve different puzzle elements to progress through the levels. This kind of makes some sense, making for some interesting puzzle sequences, but I often found that a lot of these elements were way overused. For example, BB-8, almost everything that you create or get to involves BB-8 in some way. It's like he's the hero of the story. I get it. It's a really cute robot, but a lot of his sections were way overused. Another thing for BB-8 to hop on and rotate this thing around to open it up. Like every single time. You got something you want to do? BB-8 will just do it. The combat and vehicle sections are really exciting. Hopping into a vehicle and taking shots at the enemies, or hopping right into combat using a lightsaber or shooting them down is really exciting, action-packed, and in my opinion, another strong feature of LEGO Star Wars. The hand-to-hand and gun combat is kick-ass. Even the characters who shoot long range can get up close and personal and do some sweet moves to take out the stormtroopers, which makes for a lot of fun. As well, the lightsabers are dominant. Once you finally get it, you're able to just take out enemies no problem with some really sweet moves, and it's really cool to watch and to play. Lightsaber to the rescue! Oh my god, Finn is on. That was f***ing sick! My only gripe with the combat sections is that they are far too spread out and end far too quickly. I really would have liked to see some sections of the game completely devoted to combat, like we've seen in some other LEGO games, because it really fits with this story. There are a couple of scenes in The Force Awakens that really devote itself well to some awesome combat scenes, and we didn't see as much of that in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. Hopping in a vehicle is also really fun. Hopping in the Millennium Falcons, some TIE Fighters, X-Wings, or even Walkers make for some exciting gameplay sections and are really fun. My problem again with them is that they're too spread out and they end far too quickly. Because they're so action-packed and exciting, it feels like it's over way too soon. The developers behind LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens must have gone into some in-depth detail and done a lot of work trying to recreate some of these iconic Star Wars scenes. And they have done a really good job in a lot of these levels. On Endor, the Millennium Falcon, or some of the parts on Jakku are painstakingly recreated to look exactly like they do in the movie. It's very much appreciated and really lends itself well to more enjoyment in this game. Some areas, however, have been added to or expanded just to seemingly add more hours into the game. It's almost waste, kind of filling the game up with stuff that didn't really happen in the movie, which I was a little disappointed with. Specifically, the Maz's castle level and the Rebel base are really poorly done. Almost don't need to be in the game at all. They didn't really happen in the movie, and in the game they really don't make much sense either, so why are they even in the game? I'm kind of glad that they included these levels in because it did help me learn a little bit about game design and what goes into making a truly great game. Context is so important for the player when playing a video game. When I'm playing through the sands of Jakku with Rey, doing all these puzzles to get through this broken down ship, it makes a lot of sense. This is something that only Rey could do, so obviously I'm going to do it. I'm invested in her getting through and helping her out through her story. But when I get to a level like the Rebel base, for example, where I'm playing as Leia Organa, and I'm in Leia's base, she's the general of the Rebel army, and I have to take 20 minutes to open a stupid door to get through, I ask myself the question, why am I doing this? If I ever find myself asking that question while playing a game, I know there's not a lot of context behind what I'm doing. If they'd have said maybe that this door is, oh, this is the toughest door to open in the entire universe, well, maybe I have a little bit more invested interest in opening that door. Because some idiot couldn't open it or because he screwed something up. Now I gotta do it? I feel like I'm wasting my time. Okay, let's just summarize what I had to do to get this door open. I had to get a bunch of homies out of the door over there to pull that thing off the top so I could get up and put that side of the door would work. Then I had to get into a complete different hangar, use C-3PO to talk to a guy who doesn't talk basic English, and so open the door so we could get in. The parts that we needed though were in a block of ice, so we had to pull them out, put them on a crane that was broken, then we destroy the pieces and manipulate the crane around to take the thing around, drop it in front of a fighter's jets to blow a fire on it to melt the parts that we could build the rest of the door that we could use to open the door and get in. How f***ed up is that? Like I said before, there were only a couple levels like that in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, but it did make for a couple frustrating hours through my playthrough of this game. The presentation is really well done in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. I was playing the PC version, and the game looked great. The graphics were smooth and surprising for a LEGO game. These LEGO pieces look really cool. They also managed to capture all the iconic sounds of the Star Wars universe into this game, which is very much appreciated. I did have a few issues on startup taking really long, or a couple crashes and bugs here and there, which was a little bit frustrating, but the checkpoints and autosave are well placed so that I didn't ever lose more than maybe 10 minutes of gameplay at the most, which made sure I was at least okay when these things happened. Overall, LEGO Star Wars is a good game with a lot of action-packed and exciting sections to play through. At about 10 to 12 hours of gameplay for the regular story, and a bunch more hours added for some extra missions, as well as the famous return to collect everything in the free play that makes LEGO games so famous. This game did leave me wishing for more. The addition of the filler sections into this game, along with the overuse of a lot of the gameplay mechanics like BB-8, as well as the scarcity of a lot of the game's greatest sections, most exciting sections, really left me disappointed and really kept this game from being something really special for me. So for that reason, my final verdict for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens is a 7 out of 10. A pretty good game. For fans of LEGO games, this game should be right up your alley with all the same stuff that you'll be familiar with from previous LEGO games, with some cool additions to spice things up a little bit for longtime fans of the LEGO series. For Star Wars fans though, I might question whether or not you want to be playing this game. I mean, it's going to be an awesome retelling of the story with some extra comedy added, but the gameplay might not be all up to snuff to keep you invested and going for the full 10 to 12 hours to play through this game. Well, that's it for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. I gotta thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, definitely check out my Let's Play series that I did for this game, where I played through all the levels of LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. You can see some of my initial reactions when first playing this game there. But again, I gotta thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you next time on Yes Guy Gaming.